Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to another season of the Miami Heat Postgame Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas. And with me today to kick off the preseason, we got Kyle. What's up, my man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, it's been a while.
We haven't done a show together in a while because I have been off all summer, and every time I'm on, you're not on. So it's good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you. It's good to see your poorly lit room again. I missed it. I missed it. I missed you.
I missed you too, man.
I missed you too, man. Shout out to chat. Missed you guys. It's good. Listen, it's 11 p.m. on a fucking Saturday, and we're here talking about another third quarter, another Heat loss. No, I'm kidding. We're going to be a little positive. Listen, today's not a day for negativity. We're not going to talk about another loss, but it doesn't matter. It's preseason. Today's going to be a fun day. It's our first day back at school. We're having a great time, and Kyle and I want to talk about the most important thing, which is why did Eric Reed and John Crotty and I get to go to Puerto Rico?
They just said nope, no tickets for you.
Kyle, what was this? What happened? Why did they not go? Why did they send? Because Michael Piamonte was there. I heard the in-game announcer. I heard 2 minutes. Dos. I heard it.
We had the floor and everything, and we left our announcers home.
Why? In Fort Lauderdale, it's just like, you stay.
Was there no space on the plane? Like, it's Puerto Rico.
It's not that far. You know what I mean? It's not like, I'm pretty sure Dallas is a longer flight.
Yeah, it is a longer flight. I didn't understand from Miami to Puerto Rico.
You don't need a passport. Do you need a passport? Chat, do you need a passport to go to Puerto Rico?
No, you don't need a passport.
You shouldn't. I don't see why you would.
Was
this a Crotty decision? Did he not want to go?
Oh my goodness. That's number one. Number two, I didn't realize they got left home until I heard Wiggins 3 in the arena, and then Reed's like, Wiggins 3, and I'm like, wait, what just
Dude, the delay was bad. It was bad. It was the score bug. It was weird. The lighting in the arena was funky, which is whatever, right? That's fine. But the whole production, it felt preseason. It was the most preseason event I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness. It's funny because they were talking about plays in the game 4 to 5 seconds afterwards. So you're watching the next play, and it's supremely delayed. I said, oh, they got left home. Okay.
Meanwhile, Michael Piamonte is fucking talking, Wiggins 3.
Unbelievable.
And they're behind. That was very funny. I thought that was and by the way, chat, I don't know if you noticed, Kyle, I don't know if you noticed, that was the longest halftime show. That was the longest halftime ever.
Yeah, I didn't understand what was happening.
That was like 30 minutes.
And they just kept going and go. I was like, what?
I love Carlos Arroyo too, but
I said, not the 30-minute segments in between halftime.
Dude, so I today was nice. I got out ahead. Dinner was cooked. We ate, before the game started. Everything was cleaned up. I was just on the couch. I have it on mute. I'm not listening to the Carlos Arroyo interview, right? I'm just kind of scrolling, and with, my girlfriend and I are talking about the Taylor Swift album, and I keep looking up, and I was like, what? When is this over?
When is the game coming back?
When is this?
I didn't understand what was happening. And Carlos kept talking because I would turn the volume back up. And Carlos is talking, I would turn it back down. And then there was pictures of him like in FIU jersey. And I'm like, I say to my wife, I'm like,
what's going on?
Nobody plays basketball at FIU anymore.
Hey, that's disrespect to Raja Bell. Come on. Hey, that's disrespect to head coach Isaiah Thomas, who got embroidered in a sexual harassment scandal.
Oh my goodness. I said, oh boy. So why do we still have this on? Why is Carlos, he does not play anymore?
Kyle, that is Isaiah Thomas is the second coach, is one of two coaches to have a sexual harassment scandal at FIU.
Which is insane.
Yeah, the women's basketball coach some years later. Yeah. I covered that. I remember I was a student journalist at the time. What was that? FIU leading Conference USA in sexual harassment scandal by their men's and women's basketball coaches. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the beautiful game, La Balonceta, as they would say in Puerto Rico, basketball. Kyle, I think importantly, they played quicker. And I think that was a point of emphasis. I think that was kind of the most important thing today. Eric Reed on the broadcast on delay said that that Spo during training camp ran a 16-second shot clock, which I think was noticeable. I thought they'd run the handoff, they'd run an action, and they would be pretty quick in, kind of making a move out of that. And they would kind of get multiple, they'd run multiple things in the same possession, which I got to be honest, I haven't seen that in a long time out of them. I was like, whoa, who are you guys?
Well, I think for me, what was interesting is how many ball handlers or how many people they decided to like inbound the ball. We talked about it during last season. We just wanted them to get the ball in quicker, get the ball over the half court faster. They did that. And then they were improved in the fast break area. They managed to run reasonable fast breaks that basketball teams are supposed to run. It's preseason, so I won't take any stock yet, but it was interesting to see them play with pace. 16 seconds is beautiful. You need to be passed. I mean, that drags it close to what would be a half-court violation, right? So you need to get the ball over. So it was interesting to see them get the ball in quicker, get the ball in the hands of somebody who's going to get the ball over faster. They did a little bit with Jaime, did a little bit with Nico. So
the Nico stuff is what I walked away the most impressed with, which I think, obviously he's getting the big contract. He's going to have a lot of starts and he's going to kind of be an important part of this team. But I thought he was kind of one of the bigger beneficiaries because I think he kind of excels in those kind of – he's a connector and a finisher, right? He could be either guy. I don't really think he's a good initiator, but he could be the connector. He could be like that link between the action and the finish, or he could be the finish. And he's good at making snap decisions. I think that's his best, like, kind of macro skill, right? And I think you kind of saw that today. And I walked away most impressed with him and Norman Powell. And we're going to talk about Norman Powell next because I left really impressed with him. But I think he's going to be a huge beneficiary of them just playing with a little more zip and a little more purpose.
And getting off the rim, taking it off, moving it up the floor, especially if he sees an advantage up the court. And he made a few reads tonight that I was like, man, or just like tip outs with effort.
Yeah.
Where he, tipped the ball back, adding another possession. Those are the things that you want from him. And that's part of being a connector is adding more possessions and then making reads with the ball. The initiation, I think, is going to be something that comes with a little more ball handling, like experience. Like he's going to need to have the ball in his hands a little bit more to try to work at that. Now, how much of that is he going to get this season? I don't know. However, I would like to see him, especially if they're going to run a lineup with a lot of size, him be the primary ball handler, especially because tonight they didn't start with your average size guard or point guard. So if that's the case, you have him kind of see what he's able to do with initiation, what reads he's able to make on the pick and roll, or some of the other reads that they decide to run. So I thought it was interesting to see him kind of get some of that stuff going. And the shooting is going to be what it is. I think that'll settle down over time, but it'll be interesting to see how much of his bag, as I've seen floating around, how much of his bag he expands.
This is a make or break year for him. I mean, I think this is, first year on a real contract that matters. And I think I think this is kind of like all right, well, what are you going to be? What trajectory are you really going to have?
Right.
So I think that's going to be pretty important. Shout out to What Figs Say in chat. Or subscribe with Prime. 33 months. This is 0-1 start. How can we save the rest of our season? It's over, guys. It's over. I thought he was kind of one of the more important bright spots. Obviously, Wiggins, I thought played a really good first half. But Norman Powell, man, kind of see him coming off the handoff. I think, as a Raptor, I thought that was kind of one of his better skills because, but I mean, really, he was initiating off pick and roll on either side of the ball. I thought there was a possession where he ran a handoff with Bam, made a weak side pass in the very following possession. On the other side, this was on the left wing and on the right wing, ran a pick and roll, got into the defense, drew some help, and kicked it out. Both plays did not result in anybody hitting a shot or making a play. But the fact that they had downhill action. They got motion, bro.
Yeah, and I think he plays with, when we talk about playing faster, he plays with pace.
He plays with pace.
And he wants
urgency.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so with that, having a guard that gets you to that kind of action, getting the guys moving, because I think with you play with pace, your teammates themselves kind of get the energy. They say the ball has energy, and so him be able to create space. I think his handle is sneakily underrated. Like, he's able to create some space for himself and get to the rim. And his shot release is remarkably fast. I didn't think it was that fast.
It's quick,
but it's extremely quick. And the shot is pretty fluid. So I'm intrigued to see what usage he'll get as far as with Tyler being out for, I don't know how long he's going to be out for. The timeline is up and down. I'm seeing whatever. But I do think it'll be interesting to see what he looks like offensively. Maybe not as the primary scoring option, but what he can do creatively to create for others as well.
Yeah, I think, obviously Hero is going to make he's going to play a big part in the ball handling, and as is Davion Mitchell. But I kind of think him as a pick and roll handler is going to be one of the more important parts of their crunch time offense. I think, especially when Hero's on the bench, that's going to, I think he and Bam or he and Khalil, or I think he and Nico too. I want to see more pick and roll synergy with them, but obviously, I think he and Bam, there's a rapport there.
Yeah.
That's going to go good. And I want to add that I thought that they had guys in the dunker spot more often today. I thought Jaime was there a bit. I saw Nico was there some, Bam some. And I think that's something that's missed. They've gone really 5 out. And I understand why. And I understand not wanting to put a guy in the dunker spot, but I think some teams do it well. I think Oklahoma City's really good at it. I think we've seen really potent offenses be really good at kind of utilizing every piece of real estate on the floor. I wish Siobhan was here because I'm sure she would have really been excited to talk about that.
It'd be amazing.
Shout out to the homie. But yeah, I thought that was kind of different, and I think you saw that with Powell, right? And I think he's kind of getting in the lane, and they have that. When he does that kick out, that guy has a pass inside,
right?
Which they hit sometimes. Nothing. I mean, Jaime's finishing is a problem still. I was not moved by anything of his today at all. I think he's still, he reminds me too much of Justice Winslow in the bad way. And I, they really just got another one of those, except I don't see the upside, at least with Justice. I still see the upside with Justice.
And I think one of the interesting things about that is there was a play where it got called a foul, but he drove into 2 guys. Like there was no space. Yeah, there was no space. Yeah. And he drives in. Now, it got called a foul, but I was like, dude, where did you see a driving crease?
Dude, he has no game sense.
It's weird.
So we have a new assistant here at Miami Heat Beat, Oliver, and he says Jamie's long flowing hair is deceptive, makes him look quicker going downhill. Oh, he say he did look quicker. His hair is deceptive, but he did look quicker. I do think he looked quicker, but I think that his problems kind of remain. A guy who I think picked up from last season to this season. Give it up for Drew Smith, everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
let's go, Drewy. I still don't think it was the right move to bring him back, but he looked good. And I think that my goals for the team don't align with what they want to do. But if they want to win games, Drew Smith is certainly going to help them do that. Kyle, I just want that young man to be careful.
So that's interesting because I'm watching and I see him die for the ball and I'm like, Drew,
chill out.
Dude, they just gave you the daggone contract. Please, it's preseason. Please. Now, what I will say is I don't know if he's not so much. I don't know what the opposite of a gym rat is. Not gym rat, but like guys who film rat, where he's constantly watching basketball maybe. But he didn't drop off anything in effort, anything in reads, anything in shooting. I mean, he didn't shoot a lot of threes, but his drives to the basket, interestingly, just played with pace. Yeah, Drew, Drew played with effort, and that's what you want from him. His defense is always going to be something that he gives his best effort at, and if you don't get anything from him scoring wise offensively, one of the things that I do like about him is his basketball IQ, playmaking wise. He makes the right pass. He's going to make the right read every single time. There's probably some default to that because guys who don't have a little more wiggle to their game, as far as like being able to create a little bit more, sometimes you can box them in. But I think that's why Spo likes him, is he plays what you would consider Spo basketball, like do the same things the right way every single time. And so that's just a part of why they brought him back. I think that's why Spo likes him. He plays Heat basketball, or at least what ethical hoops, as many people would say.
Because I think when he is really just genuinely trying to make a play, right? And I think that when he drives to the basket, like he's really like a head down kind of guy. And somebody in chat said he had a really nice pass to the corner.
Pass.
Yeah, pulled to go sub. Yeah, and I just think that there was a lot of not to coach speak, but it was there was a lot of activity, a lot of moxie, and I actually think that he would actually help a good team. I think this team, I think he could have helped, some of those other Heat teams that kind of really needed some guard help. That he was unfortunately not here or hurt for, but I think he'll help them a lot this season. I think their guard rotation's gonna be competitive. I think if we'll see if Davion can't hit some shots, and if he's struggling at any point, I could totally see Drew Smith taking some of those minutes. I think that I don't know, they're pretty kind of heavy at guard right now, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but I think we're gonna have some interesting conversations when it comes to who's starting games later. Because I think positionally, I think it's if today's any indication, Norman Powell should be starting.
Agree.
And it's going to be competitive, right? Because it's going to be Hero, and then Bam, and then Powell, Wiggins, and Nico, or Powell, Wiggins, and Mitchell. And there's going to be an odd man out for this group. So not to get ahead of ourselves, but I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to kind of give Drew Smith a little bit of his flowers. Let's talk about the bigs. Especially the three. I think we had a little couple interesting things from both of those guys. Let's go Bam, Ware, and Precious. Bam, aggressive getting to the line. What we need, I think, at this point, I heard Eric Reed say, if I understood this correctly, Bam is his 9th season for the Heat, and I think only 4 other players have done that. It's probably Udonis, Dwayne, Alonzo, and I don't know who else.
Yeah, Heat guy.
I guess Bam, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be the 4th. So, one of the most tenured Heat players ever. And, he kind of is who he is at this point. I don't expect him to take any leap or anything. I just kind of think he'll make marginal improvements. But I think getting to the line is something that he can't. That's an area that he's leaving a lot on the table. And I liked the aggression today. I think that the quicker kind of offense helped. I thought he had a downhill motive. I didn't see. Did he take a 3 today? I don't remember him taking a 3.
I don't recall one either. But I do think what I liked, and they talked about him. He talked about it as well. Tightening up the handle. We called it out.
No threes for Bam tonight.
Okay.
No threes.
Which I prefer, to be honest with you, unless it's a night where he feels, he's in a rhythm. He's got the mid-range going.
Do you know he was 0 for 5?
0 for 5 in shots?
Yeah.
No shock there.
He had 7 points all on free throws.
No shock. No shock.
Honestly, I did not realize that. I just kind of, it's funny because I was I kind of like Bam today. I kind of like Bam in his minutes today. That's really funny.
I think that's the thing is, if you're not going to give me shots, but you're going to get to the line a bunch, you're still contributing something. He's going to rebound, he's going to play defense, but if you can create contact and create opportunities to get to the free throw line, which I would like to see him I would like. What is his percentage at free throw? I want to say I want to see.
It's the most up and down thing you've ever seen in your life.
I would love to see
He's
him.
had some low 70s, some 60s, some 80s. He's all over the place. 70s.
I would love to see this upcoming season. I would like to see him around at 85. I know,
brother. I will take him at 75. If you told me right now he'll shoot 75 from the free throw line, I will jump up and join, pop some confetti. Kidding me? For a center, that's not
80,
a shooter.
80 to 85, somewhere in there. That's going to win some games, in my opinion.
What's his career high? Bam Adebayo, Basketball Reference. All right, let's just blow in the Basketball Reference book. First time of the summer. Blowing the dust off that shit. Let's see. Okay, Bam Adebayo. His career high in free throw shooting is 81%.
Okay.
He did that.
So I'm not asking for too much by
22-23.
So I'm just asking for 4% more, which I think is the difference between winning and losing a game, in my opinion.
Dude, you know what's crazy? So he had early in his career, he was low 70s, 72, 73. Then he had a 69 in the 1920 season. Then he was pretty much 80 the year after, then 75, 80, 75, 76. That's funny because I feel like it's been more up and down, and I think he's probably goes through feast or famine stretches in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just, because I mean, bro, there's sometimes that like he can't fucking hit a free throw, and he'll go like his percentage is pretty bad. So
right,
that's actually pretty interesting that he's around mid 70s. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I guess that's a super doable. Quick shout out to Supreme Weeb in chat. Damn, almost 3.5 years subscribed. Love you. Saying Heat third quarter, we're so back. It's preseason. That doesn't count, man. It doesn't count.
So if between him, and then the next, that kind of transitions here because I think that's another aspect for our bigs, who I think took a couple of free throws tonight. I think it's 2. I could be wrong. I think it's 2.
I believe it was 2. So he look at that. Let's reading the box score. He had 2. 1 for 2.
Okay, that's what I thought. But we talked, 7 rebounds in the first 7 minutes of play.
Yep.
Just active on the boards is something that if Tiff was here, it would be like, well, that's what I want. That's what he's supposed to do. So he played active on the board.
She'd be right.
Played his size. There are some areas where I'm like, he still doesn't, I don't think he still has an understanding of what he needs to do on offense, aside from the pick and roll and rolling hard. Aside from that, it doesn't seem like there's any real, and granted, this preseason, and there's time between now and when the season starts that I think Spo will have some things refined for him. But if he can stay aggressive if he can just anywhere from 10 to 15, I'm not asking for like 2020. That's nuts. That's like historic numbers. But if he can give me 15 rebounds or hover around that area.
Where?
That's
no
what I'm asking
way. He's not going to play enough minutes.
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for it.
No way.
Now, does he do it? No.
No way.
But
No
I would
way.
love him above 9. I'd like him above
I don't think
9.
he'll play enough minutes.
Really?
He's going to be a backup center.
That's fair.
Like, I don't think that, and I even think, I just don't see him as like a full-time starter. And I think like, that's like, you got to play like 35 minutes to get that. And I just don't think he'll hit that. And I do think if they're going to play faster, I just don't think they can play 2 bigs.
No.
Like if their prerogative is to like play at this pace, which I don't think this will hold all season. Like I will wait, we can all have, oh yay, they're playing fast, but let's see in December what this looks like.
9 to 10.
Yeah, like Bron Stoker's chat say
season.
more realistic, like 9 to 10 boards. I think that's ambitious. Oliver, if you can get me, what did Khalil average rebounds and minutes last season? If you can get that for me. I don't know. I think that's a little ambitious for his minutes. And I think honestly, I just think as long as your defensive rebound percentage is good, that's fine. I actually would like him to be a little bit more aggressive as an offensive rebounder. That's just something they haven't had. And I think at his size, he's unique that he can help them do that. But I wouldn't worry about the raw numbers. I just like, are you like being active? Are you doing that? His minutes are going to vary and they're going to fluctuate. I don't think he and Bam can play together for really long stretches if they're going to implement the system that I think they're trying to do.
Right.
And I also think you just paid Nico, right? Is that going to be your starter? Who knows? Oliver came up with our stats. He's 22 minutes and 7.5 total rebounds. That's pretty good. I think, 22 minutes. I think he'll play more than 22 minutes. I think he'll be closer to 30. Can he get to 9? I think that's good.
Which is Bam numbers, actually. Like,
I think that's great.
9.5. That's not bad. I mean, it
he's
keeps
a second-year player too, man. You know what I mean? Like, let's
right.
Yeah.
And I guess what we're collectively hoping for is just the effort on the boards. Grab, you're 7 feet tall.
He can do it. We know you can do it, big guy.
Yeah, go up there. I mean, if you can go for lobs, which I see teams have started. I mean, it's preseason, but I saw Orlando really try to disrupt him. The rolls, the pass. Him kind of using vertical spacing. But if you can go for that, you can definitely go up and get some boards. To answer that, actually, if you don't mind.
So chat, somebody, Keendim in chat says, I feel like Nico and Khalil might be interchangeable in the lineups, but more favored to Nico, kind of in regards to our minutes conversation.
And I think with that, to me, I hope that if you're not going to play Ware Bam together, you play Ware Nico together. I think there's a little more spacing with them two on the floor together. There seems to be some chemistry as far as finding each other.
I think the high-low stuff with them, which is funny because like Bam's a better passer, but just the high-low stuff with them, just unique at the top.
Right. And I don't know how much of it will really get used, especially because he's going to be backup, and maybe we'll see if that gets used at all. But we highlighted it last season that he has Ware has shown the small ability to make some quick reads with the ball. Not asking him to make any plays, but he has made quick reads where he's able to dump it off, or he sees a defender and he has somebody cutting, he makes a quick pass. So if they're able to kind of read into some of that, and while having Nico on the floor, who I think is also going to be a connector, I think that would be interesting for the type of pace that they're trying to play with.
Yeah, I agree. And Big 8 Seed says I'll play all three together. I think that they'll have some licks at that. I actually think I'd actually be curious if they play San Antonio on Wednesday. I could be curious if that's a team that they tried against. They did play 3 bigs against them. That's when they debuted it, right? Yeah. They played the 3 against them in the regular season last year. So I think I'd look. That's something I would kind of be curious about, and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get on to Precious. As Bronx Joker says, Precious might be a smart signing if Ware has a step back, kind of perfectly transitioning. Did play a lot today. Had a pretty interesting isolation possession. That it was both good and bad, Kyle, because it was bad in that I don't like how he stops the ball.
No.
And I worry about that. I worry that he is not a snappy decision maker. And again, I think that this team, again, he's not going to be a big minute player for them. Like I don't think this is too relevant in anything, and I don't want to appear too hard on him. But I do think that if they need to find an identity, and if that's identity is snappy, quick passers, I think your bigs being that is pretty important, because that it's kind of like when you watch soccer and when a guy in the midfield can make a one-touch pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't need to control the ball with 1 foot and then pass. You could just give that one touch, and it just kind of gives that middle portion of your attack that extra you know what I mean? And I think the Heat have been missing that. And that's why I like Nico, right? Because Nico is that guy that is the one touch. You know what I mean? And Bam is a guy that's one touch, right? And Jimmy, Kyle, those guys were one touch. PJ fucking Tucker was like that here. You know what I mean? So I want to see some of that in Precious, but I think it's good, Kyle, that he can also, that was a nice isolation possession. Bro got to got to the cup,
Well, I
scored,
think
and won. You know what I mean? Like, I can't hate, but I watched that thinking, wow, that was really impressive. And also, that could be a problem.
I think one of the things that we'll most likely see is one, he won't be making that decision in the regular season for sure. So I know that there's some things that'll likely be cleaned up. And then also, he's not going to handle the ball like that. I think if he is going to play, he's definitely going to be the kind of player that Spo drops in as an energy guy. Hey, be active on the boards, tip ins, add some extra possessions here and there. Roll hard when you have a moment to set good screens. So that's what he's going to be. And now, granted, I will say he looked completely different than when he was here in his preseason. But obviously, he looks substantially different he looks less nervous, less like, I don't know what to do. He seems a little more sure of what he wants to do. And so that could be helpful. Do I want to see him do any more isolations? No, I could I could do without seeing him do any more isolation basketball. But I do think one of the things that he highlighted for me, and I hope this isn't like too far off the topic, is how deep the Heat kind of are. Davion didn't play. Pella didn't play.
No guard play.
No, they didn't have some of these other guys that
Drew Smith played,
and that's it. And so I think some of the ball handling of him was really just we don't have Pella, who have been playing some minutes tonight, and Davion wasn't there. And I think also
Tyler.
Right. So you have some of these guys missing or out for a little bit. I do think having Davion and Pella will help with the pace, especially Davion, who likes to get the ball in quick, likes to get the ball up court quick, likes to get into actions quick, make decisions fast.
Chat's asking to know what
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Today's a happy day, Bronx Joker. It's a happy day.
We're
Happy
not
day.
doing this.
Happy day.
You
want to talk about the ball not moving when it touches someone's hands.
But I do think that they're going to play much faster with some of the other guys when they get back.
Oh, with the young guys, dude.
Man.
We didn't even say Jaku.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think they're loaded. They have a lot of like depth, which is interesting. Now, I'm not saying that they have the most.
They have a lot of 6th and 7th guys.
Yeah,
by depth.
It's not a problem because things.
They have a ton of 4 through 7s.
I agree with that.
Maybe
and one of the things I think might be interesting is seeing Nico and Jaku on the floor together. I think they have similar mindsets in play. I think they have similar pacing in play. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like with them both on the floor and how much energy they can get out of it. So,
yeah, I agree. And I think that we're going to have hopefully some time in the preseason to see that. Hopefully those guys can get healthy and right and be on the floor. I don't know. Any other thoughts? I mean, Fontecchio.
Liked him. Liked his minutes.
Fine, I guess.
I saw a tweet that was like, "Oh, Fontecchio is not dunking." No, because he, somebody didn't get called for a foul on defense.
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, sir. I'm telling Alf. And by the way, he had 2 fouls.
Which it's not 5, it's not 4. But I did like
+2. Ducker would have been +11.
I did like his defense. I did like his use of ball handling. That's something that I enjoyed from his game. I had to say it. I had to say it. But I do think that the team is different from a total like roster construction. I mean, you have your core guys, but overall, I think the team is going to play much faster. They're going to play with pace. I think they have a better roster for switching.
I didn't see a lot of that today, but
and guys who could stay with their guys, which is another big part of them being better on defense. Not giving tonight was whatever. I to be honest, I don't want to see Golden play any minutes, but in the G League, no throw at him. And Danger, I don't want to see him play any other minutes either.
Yeah, I think those guys at the bottom of the rotation, Kells, Young, Deja, Golden.
I liked Kashad's athleticism. I think
Kashad's another guy that's just not NBA ready yet.
No, but I do think he's going to be effort, and he's it's a lot of those minutes will be if they're needed.
Kashad, great guy to keep in your system. I think he'll be something. I think he can contribute. Chat's right. Danja is a great name.
It is.
So Chat's saying Jamie looked better, more confident. No, he didn't, bro. He looked awful.
I think he looked more
confident pump faking when no one's around.
With the ball, he did. I think his ball handling, maybe. He still is indecisive, and I think that's maybe my problem. With wanting to play with pace, wanting to play faster. If you're going to have him have a player on the floor with ball handling, you're going to want more decisiveness. So, we'll see what this team looks like. I hope they get out and run and play athletically.
Chat. I saw somebody being chat saying they liked Wiggins' minutes. I don't know. 11 points, 2 assists, 0 rebounds. I don't know. 4 or 6, I guess.
We'll see.
I don't think today we can get anything out of that from him. That's why I didn't even bring him up. I just wanted to mention him. I don't really think it's worth too much of a conversation. I mean, I think it kind of is what it is, and I am curious to see kind of how this goes. I would like to see their guards play more. I think I want to see kind of more of their team kind of come together. I'm curious to see Powell with more shooters. Mm-hmm. I do think today was a day where you're like, man, if they had some shooters, I think that some of this could work. I don't know, but we'll find out. Cal, do you have any closing thoughts on
wild thought here? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm wondering if because of the depth that they have, if Spo does any almost like hockey, like you're swapping out guys to swap guys in.
Just that worse in basketball because
right, which I get that. I get that. But experimenting with kind of like not every single guy coming out, but what's going to work best for what he wants based on a rhythm aspect and pacing and whatever kind of flow that the game is going. So
that's kind of weird though, Kyle, because like they don't have enough wings to do that. Because like they have a lot of guards and they have like 4 guys who can play center and nothing in between. I swear to God, dude, that's what they got.
Complete opposite of the Rockets. Which is hilarious to me.
Do they want Precious? Oh, I'm kidding. Like they have like a surplus of guards, and like somebody said Powell got the unk walk. Dude, I love chat. I would just be having a conversation, and I don't know what the fuck prompted Poster Ghostum to just put that. We started talking about Powell like 20 minutes ago, and I'm talking about something completely different. He's like, man, Powell got the unk walk. That's pretty fucking funny. He's not wrong.
Nope. I like his energy, though.
How old is Norman Powell? Hold on.
32?
Is Norman Powell my age? Am I unk?
32?
I'm an unk, bro. They call me unk. Bro.
32.
I think Dwayne Dedman's also younger than me.
That you know what? That's crazy. Dedman dropped there. That is nuts.
Dwayne Dedman is 36. Never mind.
He played.
He looks 36. Older though. He does look older. Dwayne Dedman does look older.
He played 36.
Dwayne did. Somebody said you're not unk. You're just old.
Are we both old then? Are we both old?
You know, I saw a tweet today where somebody goes to like their 11-year-old and they go 6'7", and the 11-year-old goes, "That's not funny anymore." And the guy posted the KG and the Brooklyn jersey. And I was like, man, we're old. We can't keep up with shit, bro.
The trends change every three business days.
Dude, you know what? When I felt old, so my girlfriend is a pretty big Swiftie. So the Taylor Swift album comes out and we're listening to it, and it just dawns on me that this woman's 35. And she's such a millennial, but like is such a millennial from 10 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, you're just old. You're unk, bro. Like stop singing about high school. Like it's over. Like stop beefing with Charlie XCX. Why are you punching down? What fucking Charlie XCX?
She's got to stop. She's got to stop making records, in my opinion, or at least she should be making Adele records, not
that literally, bro.
Whatever this is.
She thinks she's Sabrina Carpenter. She's talking about like Travis Kelce's dick in the whole song. I was like, I don't need to know this.
I have not heard it, but it's enough for me to know.
It's a whole song, Kyle. It's a whole song, and the song's called Wood.
No.
Whole song, bro.
Oh.
Whole song.
Man.
I'm not even a hater of her like that, but I heard this album and I hate her, bro.
They said it did numbers, and I'm hearing otherwise.
Now, it did numbers because she's the biggest act in the world, but like everybody hates it.
It's not a good album, which
nobody.
I will never hear it because I don't. I haven't heard a Taylor Swift song since she was with John Mayer. Okay, so
this summer, I watched The Summer I Turned Pretty, which was the hottest drama on TV this summer, and I learned so much Taylor Swift through that show. Let me tell you something. And I have a favorite Taylor Swift song. And by the way, I have a second favorite Taylor Swift song because of that show.
That's crazy.
It is. But this album, pretty trash, much like the Heat's offense. Segue. But yeah, chat saying the lyrics are just bad. So guys, thank you for coming in. Frankie and I are going to be splitting the duties for the preseason. And we're going to be unveiling some surprises for you guys. So we're gonna be doing some different stuff for Heat Beat this season. We're bringing in some new faces. We're gonna bring back some old faces. We're gonna try to do some things a little bit differently and a little bit of how we used to. I think this season we kind of want to re-get our identity from the Hangover Time years. So I think you guys are gonna be pretty excited for some of the announcements that we have coming up. Chat's asking, was that Team Conrad? I'm so happy that I have a platform to say this. I fucking hate Conrad. I think Conrad is incredibly toxic, and I think he was made in a lab for sad girls. I can't fucking stand Conrad, and whoever understands what I'm saying knows. How do you, Kyle, this man, spoiler alert, his brother's fiance he's in love with, and he tells his brother's fiance the night before their wedding, hey, I still love you. And I was like, why would you do that, big dog? Why would you do that? And then he stalks her after she leaves. I don't know. And then she gets with this guy because of course she does. I don't get it. I hate that guy. All he does is brute all fucking day. I can't fucking stand Conrad. Cannot stand him. I can't. I don't like him. I don't like him. And I don't even like Jeremiah that much.
Oh,
but I just don't like Conrad.
Oh.
I just fucking hate him. And I've been wanting to say on a platform how much I hate him. But all I do is just tell my friends who don't watch the show. And I can't stand him, bro. All he does is brute. Fucking all season. And he's, Kyle, this man is crash out after crash out. Because he's like watching like the love of his life canoodle with his brother. And I was like, bro, be happy for them.
The new DC Big C. He said the news is talking reality TV.
I don't know. I had a lot of takes on this. That's been my summer, man. It's been watching. Now I'm watching Dancing with the Stars. Who am I? My girlfriend runs me, bro. I've barely watched anime. I'm watching Dancing with the Stars in the summer. I Turned Pretty.
That's
Taylor Swift.
For me. That's good for me. Wife and I have watched a bunch. Speaking of, I don't know if anybody
this
else.
Is the content people come here for, by the way.
Right.
First day of the Heat season. Summer I Turned Pretty rant.
What's crazy? Oda finally takes a week off for health reasons. Hey, Joey. Oda takes a little break on One Piece, and people are losing their minds, which is crazy to me because
is he allowed to take a break?
I'll say this here: he's only taken 10 days off since he started One Piece in 1997.
Dude, he's a Pat Riley guy.
He could take the year off, and I wouldn't be upset, to be honest with you. Take a year. Take a year. You've been putting out episodes since it was on 4Kids. Take a break. Take a break.
That's how I feel about Spo. Unironically. I'm like, okay, chat. Stay with me. Just stay with me for a second. Would you be mad if Pat goes, "Hey, Eric, you don't got to do it this year. Go home, go on vacation. We'll bring Dan Craig or Chris Quinn or something, and then just come back when you're ready."
Man. Oh.
Somebody go Spo.
Spobbatical.